Right, well, g'day and welcome back to the channel once again. So, as you no doubt gathered from the title of this video, we're trying to find out today exactly how many hours it takes to complete SnowRunner. So, the version that I have here, I'll show you in just a moment, is the version which has the standard version. So when I'm talking about completing it, I'm talking about completing Michigan, Alaska and Tamir. This Amur and Don and Maine and Tennessee and Glades are extra ones that I've had added on, so they're not included with the standard version of the game. And as you'll see from my Steam here, 176.5 hours is how long it's taken. Now, one thing with that though, however, is that I am using non-standard vehicles. I'm using modded vehicles from the mod menu in the game. So if you don't know how to access that, you can just go to the main menu and you'll see here halfway down there is the mod browser. Now the mod that I'm using is a Zikz 605R Goliath. Free the logs I haven't actually used yet. I don't actually use that collar boss, and I use the Tatarin JBE all the time. It's brilliant. Now the good thing about the Zikz, there's probably half a dozen good things. So it has a engine which is S plus on power to weight and A on durability. The gearbox there's a couple of different, there's 3 different unbreakable variants on it. Suspension on it has a Superflex unbreakable, which is brilliant. Tires, you've got probably about 60 or 50 different versions of them. Take your pick, they're all really good. The winch, you have a super OP offline one which goes for 100 meters. The standard ones are 30 meters, I think, in the game. So that's brilliant. You've also got spare wheels and trunk supplies as well, which have, as you'll see in the middle of the screen there, 800 repair parts, 700 fuel, which is standard. However, the other things that you can do here is have a crane, plus have a sideboard bed on there, which is the 2 space one. As well as that, you can have LED fogs, and this thing here, which is the main thing, is an invisible toolbox which has 2,000 repair parts, 1,000 fuel tank, and an upgraded roof rack which has 900 parts and 460 fuel tank, which is brilliant. You also got different options on here with the bar on the front as well, with fog lights. And you've also got another thing here called frame extension. You'll see down the bottom under the tray itself. Gives you a little bit more room when you're attaching trailers onto this. And you've got all your standard colours in there as well, and that's about it. And then you're going to add trailers. You'll see there that adds on Scout flatbed, those the ramp flatbed, operation unit does as well, fuel carrier does, service scout, dog trailer, water carrier as well, off-road scout trailer also. And this is just with the through tray on the back of the truck. You can then put on this if you feel like it a low or a high. Saddle on it. So you can put a saddle low or a saddle high on there, and you can maintain the crane as well. So this thing is brilliant for so many different things in the game, for sure. You can get a lot of missions done at the same time. I tend to use the crane to lift a lot of the cars that you've got to rescue out of the water and then just dump them in the tray and push the crane arm down on top of it. And have that pushing down on the car itself, so that'll keep it in there. So for that 177 hours that I've played on this, with normal vehicles that are in the game, for example, if you compared one of the other heavies in the truck store, some of the best ones, say the Azov 4020, B plus power to weight, A minus power to weight, A's, A pluses, A minuses. There's a lot of downsides to a lot of these. And where the one that I have wins out is the extra fuel, the extra parts that are in it, the unbreakable diffs, the unbreakable engine. It's killer for so many different things. So if you added it up in real hours, I'd probably double or even triple the amount of hours I've spent. So if you were to complete the first 3 maps, probably be somewhere between 400 to 500 hours odd, something around about that. So it's a lot of hours. It's a game that takes a hell of a long time, and it's supremely worth it. Most definitely worth it. I've only just started on a few of these other newer maps because I've been polishing off every single one of the old maps. Eventually I'll end up getting these newer ones that are in season 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9 as well. Eventually I'll get there. But I've just been finishing it off because I was really curious myself to find out exactly how many hours were required to complete the game just in general, and to try and work out an approximate time that it would take if you used a normal vehicle as well. This is my second playthrough now. The first playthrough I just used a normal vehicle, and I'd say my estimate of 400 to 500 hours is probably around about right. So it's exceptionally good value for money, and a lot of the time it's on sale on Steam as well for 30 or 40 bucks. I think most of the time it's $50 on Steam full price, but supremely worth it if you're getting that many hours out of it. If you're getting 500 hours out of it, supremely worth it. Alright, well, that's it for this one. I just wanted to let you know about that vehicle. Actually, the other thing I might quickly fill you in on as well is I mentioned about this GBE and the reasons why I love it. It's very similar to the other vehicle in that if you look at the gearbox and the engine They're incredibly powerful. You'll see the power to weight, the durability and the fuel consumption are really, really great on them. The tyres, again, here you've got, I don't know, probably 50 or 60 different options, something like that. There's a ton. And just playing in the game with normal variations, you probably only get about, I don't know, 10 different variations maybe of normal tyres on it, so you don't get a lot of variants to use. And the Autonomous Plus winch is fantastic. It's a non-powered one, so if you roll, no matter where you are, you can just use the winch, get yourself out of trouble and then restart your vehicle again. And with this as well, 150 spare parts, 375 fuel tank. You can also have in-cab supplies. You can also have trunk supplies if you want as well, instead of the in-cab and the in-cab rack one. It's probably better to have that trunk repair one, and then the large roof rack one gives you 200 spares plus 375 fuel tank as well as 2 wheels. So you've got tons you can use, tons of parts you can use there. So if you're wanting to do a lot of missions later on, say in Tamir, which is the last of the standard maps, you get a lot of jobs where you have to go all the way back to Quarry, pick up some parts or pick up something, and then go all the way out to Rift again or out to Zimnogorsk again, and it's a pain in the butt. Or you've got jobs in Rift that require parts from Zimnogorsk, so you've got to go back to Quarry, then out to Zimnogorsk, then back to Quarry, then out to Rift again. And that happens a lot in this map. It's a pain in the butt. A lot of jobs, drowned lands where you've got to go to Rift, for example, or Zimnogorsk for parts. Then you've got to go to and from Quarry, pain in the butt. So a vehicle with that much fuel comes in that much more handy. And that many more parts as well comes in supremely handy. Now there is one more truck which is marginally better than the Zikz 605R Goliath, and I've only just started playing with it in the last couple of days. It's by the same fella, and I didn't mention it previously because you actually need the base truck, and you can get the Zikz 605R just from general play, but the 612 you need to buy it. It's a DLC vehicle. So what I've done in the interim is I've purchased one of these because I wanted to check it out, just because this vehicle, the 605, is so good by Bart. So what I did was purchase one of those, and I've been messing around with it the last couple of days, and it's absolutely legendary. I'm really loving it. I think it's going to take the place of the 605 as being the best in-game vehicle, most definitely. And in terms of all of its statistics and everything, all of the parts and everything are exactly the same, so you're not missing out on anything if I don't explain anything to you, because it's all the same parts. All the same upgrades, all the same rooftop, extra fuel tank and all the rest of it, it's all exactly the same. The one change that it does have, you'll notice in the fuel usage just there, is that I'm only using about 7 litres per minute when I'm driving along at full throttle. It peaks out at around about 10. With the 605R it peaks out at like 20-25. So this uses a hell of a lot less fuel, and it's more powerful. that as well. And it's just a bit more, it's got a bit more torque. So yeah, it's definitely proving to be the best in-game, definitely now, for my usage anyway, for my use case scenario. Definitely my favourite. Alright, well, that is it. I just wanted to give you a bit of a rundown on completion of the game, how long it takes, and some of the vehicles that I'm using. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.